In this video, I am going to show you 14 money and sanity saving household tricks. Taking things that you can reuse or repurpose, or things that you already have and using them in a new way. You may have heard the term make do or do without. I like to think, how can I make do with what I already have? These are going to be fun. I'm excited to show you, but don't forget, let me know in the comments. I love to hear from my viewers. I want to know what you repurpose or what you use an item in a not traditional way that helps you out, whether it's money or time or stress. I love reading your comments. Leave those down below. Also, if you enjoy my videos, you can help out my channel by clicking on that like button. You can also subscribe. I make videos all about money-saving topics all year long, and you can also just stop in, leave a comment, and say hello. Number one is another use for this thing. I'm sure it has a specific name. I just call it a cheese grater. However, I use this to shave butter. Why would I do this? Well, have you ever made a pie crust or cinnamon rolls, some sort of a dough that you have to mix in little small bits of cold butter? It helps it keep it flaky. Well, you may have used this in the past. If you have, again, you know how much of a pain this thing is because the cold butter gets all stuck in here, then you got to fix that. It just takes a long time. You're going to cut down on time and use this thing in a new way if you use it to shave butter. Just also be careful, as with anything with this thing, when you're getting close to the end, watch your fingers. That is my announcement for the video. But then you're able to easily take this butter, mix it in with your dry ingredients. You don't have to cut in butter, you just simply mix it and it is ready for then you to add your wet ingredients. Number two is regarding a ready-made ice pack. You may have seen those gel ice packs that you can buy at the grocery store. Keep them in the fridge or the freezer whenever you have a little one that has falls down, hits their knee, or you yourself are clumsy as I am. Well, those things start to leak over time. They just don't last long. And then you've got the alternative. You can use a Ziploc bag, put some ice in it, then the ice starts to leak. It's a big mess. Well, if you have any extra sponges laying around, this is a great ready-made ice pack that isn't going to be messy or leak. You simply just take your sponge, run it under some water. It doesn't have to be extremely wet. And then you're going to put it into a Ziploc bag. This is where you're going to use a nice Ziploc bag. Obviously, Ziploc is the name brand here, but a nicer bag. You're not going to use one of your cheap ones in this instance. And then you leave it in the freezer. This is a ready-made ice pack. It's not going to have a mess. You're going to be able to put it right on, have a couple of them available. It's great and convenient. Number three is a new use for your muffin tins. When you make soups or chilies or stews and you want to have leftovers, you're going to create individual leftovers with your muffin pan. You're just going to fill up each of these and it's going to create an individual portion. Fill this up, put it in the freezer for a few hours, and then take it out. What you're going to be able to easily do at that point is maybe vacuum seal or put it in a Ziploc bag, label it, and you've got individual portions of your leftovers. This way you don't have to heat up an entire bowl full of chili or an entire bag full. You can pull out the ones, just how many servings you need each time. You're going to save money on food waste. Number four is a great cleaning trick, and it's to use a lint roller on your lampshades. Some lampshades are very delicate or they've got different folds in them. You don't want to also put any product on them because it could mess with the fabric of the shade. You simply use one of these lint rollers, go over the shade, and you get the dust off. You're not using one of those fluffy ones that's going to then just dust the dust off the lampshade and back onto either your desk, your dresser, or the floor. This is going to pick up the dust and you're going to remove it completely, and you're going to take care of your lampshade, keeping it nicer for longer. Number five is using one of these. If you've ever gotten one of these little pant hangers from the store, keep them. Or if you're at the checkout and they say, do you want to keep this hanger? Yes, you do. There are several uses for this thing. So you're going to repurpose this item. This is fantastic. You know, when you have recipe books and it's hard to keep them open, sure, you can go online and go onto Amazon and buy something for everything these days. You can buy a recipe holder that will keep your recipe thing open. Then you've got to store the recipe holder. Or you can just use one of these things, clamp it on each side, and it's gonna keep your recipe book open to the page that you want to see, laying flat, no trouble. Number 6 is another use for this little hanger with clippies on the end. I use Pinterest for a lot of my recipes. A lot of the wonderful recipes I found, I've printed off Pinterest. I print them off, I put them in sheet protectors, and then I put them in my meal planning binder. And when I'm cooking, I will pull it out. Well, a great way to keep the recipe right in front of me, not lost on the countertop below all the food scraps, is to take this hanger and clip it onto the recipe. And if your cabinets have pulls on them, so knobs or actual pulls, all you do is hang this on your cabinet. That way it's right there for you to see, no issues of it getting covered up, and it also helps keep it protected from getting mess on it. Number 7 will be fast because it's a third use for this hanger. Super easy. You're going to cut off the actual clip parts of these. These make great chip bag or cereal bag or any bag that you need to close up with a clip. It makes a chip clip that's actually extremely sturdy. You're going to find that these are much more sturdy than chip clips you find, and you go out and buy them solely for that purpose. So reuse these for several ways. Number 7 is a chip clip option. Number 8 is a way to keep this part of your shoe nice and clean. The white part or any part that can get scuffed up easily, starting to look dirtier over time, thus saving you money in the long run to keep your shoe nicer longer. And it is to use magic erasers. Now you can try the off-brand of magic erasers. I find that the magic erasers, the Mr. Clean version, work the best. They're really not that expensive. You can pick these up at Walmart for fairly cheap. And then I don't use the whole thing. I stretch these things for a long time. And magic erasers are great even for like scuffs on, trim around your house, anywhere where you've got scuffs, doors, etc. You're just gonna wet just a little piece of this and you're going to clean around your shoes. Don't wait till your shoes have gotten way too dirty. Do this on a regular basis. When you see that you've got some scuff marks, go ahead and get it while you see it. Use a little piece of this and you're going to see that your shoes are going to brighten up very quickly. Number 9 is a way to keep your hair ties organized. Sometimes they come on this little thing right here, but as soon as you take them off, they get lost. Or maybe you have the ones that come in the plastic bag and there's different sizes. I have an 8-year-old, so there's plenty of hair ties going around everywhere. Well, go to the dollar store and pick up a super cheap pack of shower curtain rings. This is awesome. You just take all of the little ponytail holders off of the little cardboard or out of the bag, and you're going to organize them super quickly on these shower rings. You may not even have to go out and buy any. You may have some old shower rings that you've replaced. You simply just slip it through and you can keep a whole bunch, an entire pack right there available. Keep it in your bathroom drawer. They're organized. They're not going to be everywhere. Number 10 is another use for the shower rings. You've got that big pack. You might not need all of them for your hair ties. Well, take a hanger and loop your shower ring around your hanger. What you're going to be able to do is easily organize hats, scarves, belts with this option. You can see here, you'll just hang your hats on it. You could probably put 3 or 4 more of these, hang them in your coat closet or your regular closet. It's easy for people to get them on and off. There isn't an issue and they're out of the way, very nicely organized. You can also use one just for your scarves and your belts. Hang these up, organize them easily. You can run through them, see them very clearly while they're in your closet. Number 11 is one of my favorite ways to reuse socks. Socks that are missing their friends, socks that may have a hole in them, socks that are a little too small for growing feet these days. So I seem to have a lot of socks that are being outgrown from little feet that are growing. But what you're going to do is take and cut off the top part. Usually it's the cuff part that is the tighter part of the sock. That's the part that you want to keep. The solution here is regarding wrapping paper. Wrapping paper gets loose like this. Sure, you can go on and buy on Amazon, like you can everything these days, wrapping paper holders, things that keep wrapping paper from unraveling when you're storing them in places. Or you could save your money and your time and just cut off the top of a sock, slip it right over the wrapping paper, and it's going to keep your wrapping paper secure. You're going to end up with a secure wrapping paper roll. No issues. It's not going to tear when you try to store it. It's not going to fall all over the place and completely unwind, which is not fun. Number 12, let me ask you, how much of this kind of tape, you know, the box tape, and these days we use a lot more box tape because we order things. You can't find things out in the store, so you have to place a lot more online orders and you might have to return them. So you might use a lot more box tape than you would have, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. How much have you wasted though when you just can't get it back off? There's this little thing on here that's supposed to hold on to it so that you can always find the beginning, but it always seems to just stick to itself. Super easy solution here. You're going to take a paper clip and you're going to put a paper clip on the end. That way you can easily pull up the end of it, pull the entire thing in one go, and voila. Your tape is easy. You're not going to waste any of it. Number 13 is a clever way to reuse envelopes. You can take envelopes and easily cut the corner off, then cut the end off, and utilize this as a quick, ready-made funnel for getting your dry goods in your jars, whatever you need. Maybe you've got beads that you're putting into a container with your crafting. This is an easy way to reuse an otherwise completely disposable item as an envelope. And number 14, keep your envelopes as well. This one may be simple, but do it. Use this for your grocery list. Save on the paper, save on the notebook. Put your grocery list on this, put your notes on this, put the note that you need to take with yourself to work to remind you of a few things you need to do. Use these, just cut off the little plastic part, have a whole stack of them. It's a great way to reuse something that you would otherwise just throw away. I want to hear from you. What is your favorite thing to repurpose? What's an idea of something you have and a different use that it's otherwise not normally used for? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget, click on that like button, hit the subscribe button so you can come back to my channel for videos in the future. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead.